Lakes 101.5, it's time for today's good news story of the day, brought to you by Laconia Mazda, driven by people. And today I have Leonard, who is president of Hands Across the Table, in the studio with me. Leonard, I talk about Hands Across the Table every Tuesday and Wednesday because the work that you and the crew there do is just so important. So thank you for coming in to share about Hands Across the Table. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Leonard, tell me about Hands Across the Table, for those who don't know.
In 2009, two women came to talk with me, actually, because I did at the time help to organize different organizations. And they had this idea about having a community meal that they thought would be great for Laconia, because Laconia didn't have one, and it might be a place where different groups who served different populations around the city could also come and just have a discussion with guests and enjoy a meal together and get volunteers together and see what would happen. And in June of 2011, we served our first meal. And except for the pandemic, we have been serving almost every single Wednesday for these last 12 years.
That's
And
incredible.
So the other part was it's hands across the table. It's not people sitting side by side and not looking at each other, but it's trying to form some kind of community within the city of Laconia.
Let me ask you this. A lot of people probably think that Hands Across the Table is just for people who can't afford a hot meal, maybe people who are displaced from their homes. Who is invited to come and enjoy this free dinner?
Anybody who doesn't want to make a meal, anybody who doesn't want to clean up a meal, anybody who would like to just sit down and get served a great meal. They're all homemade meals. There's a group comes in during the day and they're all homemade meals, and there is no requirement as far as any financial burden or any kind of housing situation.
So even I could go and have a meal.
If you'd like.
That is incredible. That is awesome. So everybody's invited, and the goal is to get everyone to come together and learn about other people in our community.
And we do have groups who come in and speak to the community about different opportunities that they may have as far as social services, or once a month Altrusa comes in and distributes books. So it's a great opportunity for them as part of the meal to also enjoy what else is happening. The volunteers are probably the key to what we are doing. I estimate there's over 150 to 200 volunteers over the course of the year.
That's awesome.
Who will help Hands Across the Table at least once a year, if not sometimes 10 or 12 times a year. And there's a group that comes in the morning that sets up. Lakes Region Community Services helps with that part. We have another group who's working in the kitchen. There's another group that will come in the evening, and they will help to clean up.
This happens every Wednesday. Doors open at 4:30 at the St. Andre Bessette Parish Hall. This has been the good news story of the day. If you have some good news, email me, Heather at lakes1015.com.